Brent Weeks got way too ahead of himself. He introduced too many new things in this book, and he wasn't able to close out those new things because they just started, and he had so many other things to close out, and you've got this weirdness with, hey everyone, my name's Nick.
And I'm Ray. Today we're going to be talking about the final installment of the Lightbringer series by Brent Weeks, The Burning White. And let me tell you, it was almost a just gold fucking book, but instead it kind of took a burning shit near the end.
It was really close to being a great book, but it was just an okay book. And I don't even think for me the ending was the issue. It was all the stuff that we were just, at least for me, that we were left hanging. Like there was a bunch of things that just kind of felt like they got forgotten or there wasn't time to explain them. As an example, the one that I wanted the most was like the chi drafting, whatever you want to call it. In the audiobook they call it key. I don't know why.
It's chi.
So anyway, the chi drafting, he gave us all this really cool explanation of it. There was like a whole big portion of the book dedicated to it where, you know, you have the keeper in that one city who's like all deformed and she's got all these tumors, and you find out, oh, chi, you only live for like 10 years max when you're drafting this because your body just kills itself.
Yep.
And then it went nowhere. Nothing happened with it. He's got the chi bane or the chi seed crystal. Nothing happens with that. I'm like, man, this was like the coolest part that I was looking forward to at the end.
Yeah.
And it went nowhere.
I feel like Brent Weeks ran into this issue where he had so much and he just kind of was like, all right, we're just going to fucking answer the big ones. Let's finish Gavin's, Dazen's little thing, have them talk with literally God. Mm-hmm. And Kip is the Lightbringer, isn't the Lightbringer. Andros is the Lightbringer, isn't the Lightbringer. Dazen isn't the Lightbringer, is the, like, all of it was so just convoluted that it was like, well, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yes. It was very convoluted. I don't think Kip is the Lightbringer or was the Lightbringer, mainly because like of Andros's statement where there's also this prophesized figure called the dragon, and he's like, oh, looks like we found these people's dragon and it was Kip. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, that's cool, that's fine. If Dazen's the Lightbringer and Kip isn't the Lightbringer, and then Andros takes credit for being the Lightbringer, that's all cool with me. I'm fine with that.
But then who's the Lightbringer? Is it Dazen?
I think it's Dazen.
I mean, he did kind of hurl light their way, right? He literally brought them light.
Speaking of, I'm sorry, I know I'm just talking about the end here already when there was so much in the beginning too, but
yeah. Let's go to the beginning. You're right.
Okay.
You're right. No, we're skipping to the end. Let's go to the beginning.
I don't know.
Yeah, no, the whole chi thing definitely was weird. How it just kind of fell off. I thought it was a cool concept right off the bat because, you know, where it would live on the electromagnetic scale, right? I mean, it probably does cause cancer, right? Legit. So
Yeah.
like cool.
He's literally, I guess it's like, what is it, just radiation? Like
Yeah.
they're channeling radiation.
Yeah, pretty much, dude.
I guess that's cool.
Yeah, it's a targeting system, like legitimately.
What I was so looking forward to see, and what I was hoping what happened, was that Kip, you know, he learns how to do this chi drafting. He gets the chi seed crystal. I was like, oh shoot! At the end, he's gonna become the whatever the chi god's name is, and he's gonna have to fight Liv, and he's gonna beat her for these mirrors. That would have been so sick. And then nothing happened with it. I feel like this series needed at least one more book, and I don't know if this was like a publishing issue where the publisher was just like, look, we're not going to pick you up for more books, and he had to finish it, or if he just wanted to be done with it. I don't know what the issue was, but I think this could have been an awesome 6 or even a 7-book series. It needed at least one more to finish up and tighten up all this stuff that just kind of fell by the wayside.
Yeah, I think one more book would have been perfect for it because it would have kept its pacing, because literally so much stuff happened in the last 2 books. So much stuff happened, which I don't really ever complain about. I like fast pacing.
I will say that it was a wonderful pacing. This was really cool how it was just. I mean, this was like a 30 something hour Audible listen, and it was nonstop.
Yeah, it just was story beat after story beat, and it definitely left some wanting, right? Like literally when it got to the, again, I'm not gonna skip to the end. Let's stay in the beginning first.
Okay.
Right? God, I keep well, like the biggest thing for me on this book that it set out to do that was unique, that it didn't do amazingly, but it was cool to have done, is literally bring God into the fray. Like not like a you can do it, right? Like that thing. I was like, hey, what's up, dude? You're kind of a dick, just so you know. Like, you know, gave him a personality and everything, and I thought that was super cool. And I haven't really seen that done to this extent, at least, really anywhere else aside from Supernatural, where they bring Chuck in, right? Who's God.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Let's bring it back to the beginning, like we've said like 3 times now, because I want to keep piggybacking off of you onto stuff that that happens at the end.
Yeah.
But I don't want to get to that yet.
Go ahead and lead the charge. I'll piggyback off you in the first half.
I just want to say, like, right off the bat, I thought it was kind of stupid that Brent Weeks was trying to make us think that Tia's going to switch sides to actually being in the Order of the Broken Eye. I didn't believe that for even a millisecond. It just didn't feel right. It didn't feel natural. Tia's been having such conflicting feelings about killing these people. Not just conflicting feelings. She's felt terrible about killing people. And then all the Order is forcing her to do it. Karis is like, look, I know it sucks, but we need you to infiltrate them, so do whatever you have to do. So why, like, I'm not buying for a second she's ever going to flip over to that side.
It's not Tia's fault. She went for the method acting route, and
okay.
She just she lost herself in it for a second, you know, and she pulled a Christian Bale a little bit, a Jared Leto, and then she was like, shit, what am I doing? I'm acting like Jared Leto. I need to fix it, and came back around. That's what happened.
You know what? You're right. I changed my mind. You're right. Yeah. Whenever, because, you know, she had overheard whenever she saw that Dazen's alive, she goes to tell Karis, like, hey, your husband's alive. And she just, you know, overhears her second guessing the whole Chromaria.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the hell? You're making me kill all these innocent people for nothing? And you're second guessing it? Screw you.
Yeah.
Like, I understand the hatred towards that. But I never really bought that she would go over to the Order.
Yeah, the Tia storyline had one cool part for me.
What is it? When Murder Sharp sucks on her tooth and gets poisoned.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually.
That was funny. It was when that happened, I was like, what the heck? Are you serious? And I appreciate the setup, I guess. Like, you know, she's been rubbing her tooth for like the whole time. And then, you know, she was talking about how she got dental work done and it's still bugging her. Like, I appreciate it. I don't know. I guess when he pulled it out, it required a lot to happen, right? He pulls it out. She has to twist and crack it as it's coming out. Yeah. And then he sucks on it. Like,
yeah.
It was cool. It was cool.
But no, the mass murder of all the Order was pretty cool. Literally all of them dead in one go. That was nifty. Another big thing I want to say what the fuck to Cruxer and Iron Fist.
Dude,
what the fuck?
That was crazy, huh?
Like 2 of my favorite characters just for a dumb shit reason. Literally it's we don't have time to explain 30 minutes of saying I don't have time to explain. You know?
Yeah.
Like, dude, just explain it.
It's true, and it's weird too because he had the orange seed crystal, and orange is supposed to make you be really good at manipulating people, right? That's what orange does. So how was he so bad at manipulating Cruxa? I thought it was really cool scene, and it made sense to me that Cruxa would be so pissed off.
Is that how they pronounce his name on the audiobook?
Yeah, it is. How's it spelled?
Cruxer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cruxer. like for sure.
Okay. Yeah, they pronounce it Cruxa. I thought it was spelled with an A at the end.
Yo, do I gotta fucking call these people and be like, bro, you guys need to
It's
learn
a-
how to read?
It's a British guy, so
Okay.
yeah.
They're British.
Sorry. Sorry for anybody in the U.S. listening to this, and you're cringing at my pronunciations like Ray here.
Well, no, it's always interesting because you pronounce names sometimes differently than how I read them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
is that how they say it in the audiobook?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like Nynaeve or Nynaeve,
Yeah.
right?
Nynaeve, yeah.
How's it? It's pronounced Nynaeve.
Yeah, that's how they say it.
Yeah, I always read
Nynaeve.
it as Nynaeve. Beside the point, we're on a sidebar.
Yeah. I thought it was a really cool. It was totally understandable why he's so pissed off at him, and like, it made sense to me. But thinking about it, where it's like, dude, he's got the orange seed crystal. Why was he so bad at that? And then, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. He spec'd all his stats into strength.
You're not wrong. you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It was cool seeing him going into the cells, and then speaking of the cells, it was also really cool to see, like, oh, these weren't just will casted cells. Dazen's been going out by himself for years and capturing immortals by himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's on a different level. Like, Dazen is insanely strong. There's no way.
Yeah. And
I
I got a whole Dazen thing I'm going to go into, so we'll skip
that's
him for now.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's another thing I was very upset that he didn't go into. Like, yeah, we just found out that there's how many? 7 immortals or 9 immortals?
9.
Oh, there's 8. Right in between.
Oh.
So there's 8 immortals in there, and they're just like walking around and nothing happens with them. Like, that was a huge part of book 3, like this immortal stuck in the black prison, and nothing happened with them.
Well, they're going to be a exhibit for the new zoo at the Cremeria.
The new immortal evil person zoo. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the whole lead up for Kip and his team getting to the Chromeria, like the first half, they're finishing up everything. He had just fixed the ceiling, right? Boning his wife, got a bandit army on his team by making fun of him, right?
Yep. He's about to become satrap of this whole area, like pool.
Yeah, and they just head straight to Chromeria, right? Because it's like, oh, we could go help Irene, Malygos, but they're probably going to kill the Chromeria, so let's go there first. So they do. So cool.
But they didn't even go straight there. Why didn't they? I didn't understand why they took the long way round. Like, it felt like it took way too long for him to get to
side quests.
Yeah, he was doing a bunch of side quests trying to not go to the main city.
Yeah. He's maxing out his character, so when he gets to the final boss, it's easier.
Yeah, there was a few things like that where it's like, but I don't understand why this happened. He didn't want to go there because he thought if he went there, he would get killed by Zyman, which, I mean, that's a fair assessment, right? But he knew, hey, I got to get to the mirror. I don't understand why they didn't just go straight to the Big Jasper and start researching the mirror. It made no sense to me why he's doing, like you said, all these side quests.
Yeah, I don't know, but really everything before the Jaspers in this book kind of felt like set up for what it was like the book was supposed to be. I feel like the book started actual when Jasper happens onward. That's when I was like, okay, cool, finally we're getting to the main story again.
I totally agree, and that's where it's like he should have had one more book. I don't know what he was doing, man. And if it was because of the publishing company, screw you guys. You should have given him at least one more book. What the heck?
Yeah, one book to finish the side quests and then one book for the Jaspers.
Yeah, because he started all these weird things where mainly the chi. Come on. I wanted to see it. Yeah. Like, you've got Iron Fist holding the orange seed crystal. You've got Kip holding the chi seed crystal. And you've got Dazen holding the black seed crystal. So, where's the Peril seed crystal? Where's the white seed crystal? And why did you even bring these things into existence in this book if you're not going to do anything with it? It makes me mad.
Yes, this is a classic example of word count.
If this was Brent Week's decision to not do a 6-book series or a 7-book series because he liked the round 5, I'm pissed at you, man. I'm just gonna, I don't know, I didn't do the research. I'm just gonna be mad at the publishing company. Screw you guys. Why'd you do this to him?
Yeah. All right, so Jasper's Onward. Okay. Cool battle sequence, right? Kip gets on the mirror doing some cool stuff, right? Ximon shows up and they start burning Kip. I want to talk about that. The burning of Kip. Kip's getting burned, right? And he's just like shooting fire out through his face.
Yep.
You know, pretty cool. He can take a life. He's a fucking turtle bear, dude. I tell you what.
Yep.
But Ximon, man, I'm glad he's done. I was so tired of reading about Ximon.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to see, what's his name? Winston? No, not Winston. Quentin.
Oh, Quentin.
It was cool to see Quentin just come up to Ximon and shoot him in the face. That's how he ended. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
But with Kip, you're right. That was a super cool thing to happen. Like, Kip is getting all these colors blasted into him, and he's like releasing them into these mirrored. He's doing all these really cool things. He will jacked this Luxenstorm from one of the gods and killed the god. Yeah, and killed the god with his own Luxenstorm.
Oh yeah, that was
That's
the
sick.
orange one or some shit.
I think it was red because they mentioned Sub-Red went crazy after that.
Oh, yeah.
He had to take some time. So he killed the red god with his own storm. Sick. That was really cool. He's getting burned up, and then he takes control of the mirrors and then lives there, Faralux. And she takes the mirrors from him. And he's like, please, I'm about to do something. No. Like, how lame is that?
I
the heck?
fucking hate Liv. That's
And
her in a
he
nutshell, this
finds-
book. No.
Yeah, that was the whole scene. Please, oh, you messed up. I'm not giving you this mirror. Please, I swear, I'm gonna do something really cool. Let me see. Let me show you. No. What? And then he finds the one broken mirror. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna do something really cool. I'm gonna shoot this huge beam of white Luxem through it. And what does that do? Nothing. Absolutely. What did that do?
It
What was
let
the
Dazen see it.
It was
Let
cool.
Dazen see it. That's what happened.
Like, hey, I guess Kip is an actual full spectrum polychrome. But actually, now that I say that, he never drafted black, so I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe he has 10 out of the 11 colors.
He probably could have drafted black. Let's be real.
Probably.
Yeah, he's probably
But-
full. Just
but
not a
so
light
it's like-
splitter.
Yeah, so it's like lame Liv, where Kip couldn't beat her to take that. And that's where I thought, oh, he's going to use chi drafting to take this right now, because
Yeah.
he's going to be the chi god. That's going to be sick. He's going to get all deformed and look disgusting.
To be fair, he was pretty worn out at this point, so...
I agree, but that's where I thought that chi seed crystal was coming into play. I'm like,
That's
oh,
fair,
he's got
yeah.
the seed crystal. He's the god. He's the god of chi.
Oh, and then a Baden showing up fucking randomly.
Yep.
What the fuck was that about? And
Hey,
then
hey,
fucking
you don't you don't think he's gonna forget about Kip, right?
then Gunner shooting a fucking 5-mile cannonball.
And he curves the bullet.
He does, dude. Like,
he's in Wanted.
dude, that scene started, and I was like, "What the fuck am I reading right now? Why is he back?" And then he's just dead because Tia's there now,
Yeah.
blinded. She can't see, right? Her peril shit's fucked up, and she just kills him. They kill him. They all kill him. Just two
That
people
was-
almost at the brink of death. Kill him.
And what a lame way to kill him too. Kip grabs onto his foot and curls onto it, and then Tia's just, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool. Tia steals his gun, and she's just like doing the quick draw revolver, like beating the hammer, just shooting him a ton.
I feel like that would have been a scene in Men in Black.
Yeah. So it's just like, man, Kip was my favorite character. And I even texted you. I had texted you whenever Andros had, like, in his memory, he's like, I'm the Lightbringer. I was like, no way. And I texted you, if Andros is the Lightbringer, I'm going to be so disappointed.
Yeah.
And then I said immediately after that, the only thing I would be okay with is if Kip turns out not to be, because they were pushing too hard for Kip to be the Lightbringer.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, he's not going to be.
Yeah.
So I would have loved for Kip to be the Lightbringer, or to not be the Lightbringer, to go out in this heroic, sick way, and Dazen is actually the Lightbringer, and then looking at the end, Andros stealing credit for that would have been awesome. But instead,
That would have made sense, too, for the character development we have gotten thus far.
yeah, it would have made total sense. Where it's like Andros says, hey, give me the power. I see you, son. Let me save everyone. And he's like, hey, I'm the Lightbringer.
Yeah.
I saved everyone.
And then at the end,
that would have made sense.
Then at the end, after everything, they're like, yeah, go ahead and claim it, Andros. And he's like, but I'll do my best. All of a sudden. And you're like, what have the past 60 years of your life been, my dude? It's been not that.
Yeah, I understand he has like this regret of literally making one of his sons murder his other son. That would be a pretty despicable and regrettable thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, for him to totally flip around and go a complete 180, like back the other way,
Yeah.
it felt very out of place. I felt the same way when Andros was giving gifts at the end. Like, it felt really out of place where all of a sudden Andros is giving all of these peasants gifts. What?
Right. Yeah. No.
Andros, the pro Marcus, is down in the group of the mighty. He's like, hey, Winston, here's a sick bow for you. It's got
Yeah.
bones in it. Oh, here's some awesome new crutches for you to bounce on.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Hey, Big
No,
Leo,
he
we
would never
found
do
this
that.
in New Game Plus. Here you go. You know, you're just like,
Yeah.
why have you been hiding all this shit if it's that fucking good? What are you doing?
He would never be so nice to all of these idiot peasants that are so far beneath him in his eyes.
Yeah, there was some weirdness to it for sure, but I mean, the battle itself was cool, fun to read. Then you got, Andros there controlling the mirrors, finishing the day, cool. Okay, now let's get on to the big storyline real quick. Dazen. The
Okay.
fuck did they decide to do for Dazen? All right, they're on a tower. They got to walk up some stairs. The Orlum guy is there the whole time talking to him, be like, yeah, let's make this journey, right? And he's just complaining the whole time. He gets to the top of the fucking tower. Lucidonius is there. He's killing him. He's like, you're not God. Right? That whole thing. But then, like, when the push comes to shove, like, when everything's happening, he's still, like, he literally meets God. And God's like, do this. You'll be fine. And he's like, yeah, I probably won't be, though. And it's like, it's your God, dude. I'm sure you'll fucking... It's not even blind faith anymore, dude. He's right there. He's talking to you.
You're right, and this is like another thing where I feel it makes me feel kind of weird about the storyline too, because what's the whole purpose of these prophecies? The whole purpose of these prophecies is that we're looking for who to be reborn.
The dragon.
The dragon. Yeah, no. L. Ron Hubbard, right? No. Lucidonius, right? That's the whole thing, is Lucidonius is supposed to be reborn into the Lightbringer. But then we find out, oh, hey, the sea demons are actually all old prisms that will casted themselves into sea giants and became these tormented creatures.
Yeah, Lucidonius is actually a whale.
Yeah, one of whom is Lucidonius.
Yep.
So he never died. So how is someone who never died going to be reborn into one of these people?
By being in the same mind, but as two different people.
Yeah, so it's like, what's his name? Carver Black? Is he the one who said it in the beginning? We're all Lightbringers. That's what that was his interpretation in the first book, that everyone's a Lightbringer because they all can do good in the world.
Maybe he's not, maybe he's right.
Is he right? Is that really what it is? Because Lucidonius is still alive. He never died. He's been alive for centuries. So
he's been an asshole for centuries.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like we said at the beginning, this could have been such an awesome book, and it almost was. But I feel like Brent Weeks got way too ahead of himself. He introduced too many new things in this book, and he wasn't able to close out those new things because they just started, and he had so many other things to close out, and you've got this weirdness with, like you said, Orholum just like coming to Dazen. Orholum comes to Karis, resurrects Kip. That's kind of cheating, in my opinion.
Yeah, a little bit.
Man, how
bit.
can you win when you've got, or how can you not win when you have Orholum on your side?
Well, obviously, Koyos, White Oak, didn't have the power of God or anime on his side.
I mean, I get he did have a ton of immortals, right?
He had
Banes.
he had God's lowercase g.
Yeah, he had
Yeah.
the angels, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these books are obviously super biblical. So
Yeah.
Orholum is supposed to be uppercase G God, and then all of the immortals are angels, right? They can't have babies. They're trying to attach themselves to these humans and helping them. Like, yeah, we get it. And then Abaddon is supposed to be like what, Satan, where he's this fallen angel.
I don't know.
No, you don't think?
Well, Abaddon would be a fallen angel. All the immortals, I think, would be fallen angels.
Yeah, but I mean that's what Lucifer is, right? He's
but
he's like
angel. He's like the fallen angel. I don't think
He's
Abaddon
the-
is
yeah.
because in the biblical terms, Abaddon exists anyways. Probably Lucidonius, to be honest, would be most representative of him. He's a sea demon.
Yeah,
He's a whale.
I think you had said this earlier too. Like, it was just too convoluted. He got too complicated, and I think he confused himself.
Yeah, one more book to flesh it all out. It would have been fine. But he was probably getting to the point where he's like, I'm fucking done.
It sucks, man, because if this was a 6 or a 7 book series, this would have been one of the best fantasy series I think I would have read in a long time.
I think it's still a really, really, really good fantasy series, even with the way it ends, because the world itself felt fully fleshed out. Even with the introduction of the Banes, the Chi Bane coming in out of nowhere, it just confirms the existence of them. So cool. Yep. There's a lot of cool stuff, cool world building things that happen, especially even with bringing Orholum into the picture. With that said, I give it like an A+ for world building, an A+ for dialogue for the most part. But the story as a whole, I mean, if we just look at the story, sure, it's an A story. If we look at the plot, the story beats the plot points. The narrative kind of falls apart at points, and that's where I would get like a C.
Yeah, I think if I'm looking at, let me give this book an overall score out of 10 real quick. I would give this book like a 6.62. Not bad. It's on the good side.
I'd be a 6.69.
Nice. But it could have been great. Hindsight's always 2020. But I would have loved to see something happen with that Chi Bane. I would have loved to see Tia getting a Peril Crystal, something happening with her. That would have been freaking sick. We saw that she's getting spoken to by these immortals. Like, they're watching over her. That would have been awesome if these good guy immortals attached themselves to Tia and Kip and Iron Fist for the Orange Bane. Yeah. Man, it could have been awesome. But it was just it was fine. Overall, I think this series was, the first 2 books were some pure stroke of genius. They were really good. 3rd book, it had some holes. It was still good. 4th book, we got better again. I thought it was good if you kind of ignored that transitional 3 book. And then 5, it's like
yeah. No, I'd give this book like a solid 7, mostly because it was bold. I mean, his choices in it were bold. They were. And I can respect that. I really can. You know, as somebody who took creative writing in high school, I think I know a thing or two about bold choices.
Yeah, you are probably a professional in this field, I gotta say.
I mean, pretty much. You know, I took a college writing class once too. What's up? But no, yeah, it's a solid book. It's not great. There was a lot of things I wish that could have been done. Series as a whole, I think, is a solid A-tier fantasy series.
I would probably give it a high B. B+. It would be like right on the precipice of moving over into an A as a whole, right? The whole overall series.
So you're that English teacher everyone hates. Got
it. Yeah, just grading it a little too harsh, huh?
Yeah.
No, I think I could see it being in the A's. It's definitely not S tier.
I mean, Robert Jordan had some fucking turds for books, you know. He did. But is the story, the world building was phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think this has that same stroke of genius in that world building, story building element to it. Not as much as Robert Jordan. Not as much. Because this one leans very heavily on, very heavily on biblical shit. So does The Wheel of Time, but it made it more.
Yeah.
You know?
And the thing is, Robert Jordan went in the other direction where his got too fleshed out.
Yeah.
He went too many books, and
Yeah.
then Brent Weeks does too little books. So I think both of them could have, if they would have both averaged that out and they both hit like 7 or 8 books, it would have been both of them. They would have been like geniuses, and both of them are still geniuses. Overall, this was just kind of, I feel like you kind of set me up for it, so my expectations weren't too high because you had kind of knocked my expectations down a little bit. And so I wasn't so disappointed. It wasn't good though. It was okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah. It gives a satisfying enough ending. It's not great. It's like eating school pizza. It's pizza, but it's from school.
But it's not good.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you love
I
pizza,
guess.
but it's just not great pizza. It's just
Okay.
not. And I didn't want the final book to overshadow the story as a whole for you. That's all. As I thought the story was great, honestly. What it was set out to do, the purpose of it, the creativity in the series, the magic system specifically, right? I thought it was unique enough and well enough put to paper that a shitty ending, regardless, still makes for a good fantasy series.
Yeah, if you just look at the first 2 books, like, you can see Brent Weeks is a fantastic writer. He's great, but I think he got a little lost in the sauce. He confused himself.
Yeah, but hey, for all you watchers, go ahead and leave a comment below if you got any cool thoughts, or if you agree or disagree with us. Let's be real, it wasn't a great ending. I mean, that's just the truth. However, it was cool for what it tried to set out to do. With that, leave below in the comments what you'd like us to review next. With that, Ray, out.
Thanks for watching. Hey, Nick here. If you enjoyed this video, please gently caress that like button for us.
And Ray, thanks for watching. It was a blast. Make sure to hit that subscribe if you want to stay up to date with what we're doing, what me and him are doing. There. Me and him. Nick and Ray. Subscribe.